Welcome one more day, TikTakers. Some of you have sent us the song Kyoufu Gaaden, better known as Fear Garden by Rin Kagamine, a video in which the girl creates a garden with human arms and at the end says that everything is alive. Maybe. We think the video is scary, so today we're going to tell you about the origin of Rin, which is circulated on the net. Rin was a very shy young woman with many problems socializing with her schoolmates. She suffered bullying, and every day she had to cope with the insults and teasing of the other boys. She spent her breaks alone in the dining room. No one approached her, and sometimes they even threw objects at her, creating some bruises and injuries. However, she was a sweet girl who enjoyed a great fondness for flowers. She loved all kinds and colors. Every time Rin came home, she was comforted and encouraged by what she called her secret garden. She had many flowers planted. She took care of them and loved them as if they were human beings. Another of her passions were hands. She loved seeing and touching people's hands. She always drew drawings of all kinds of hands in her notebook, children's, young, old. Then one day, the young woman had an idea. She wanted to have a garden of hands. The next day, a new student arrived at school. He sat next to Rin, who spent the entire class looking at him very carefully. When it was time to go out, Rin invited this boy to her house. He, smiling, accepted and asked if he could also invite his friends to have a good time. They all arrived at Rin's house and were talking, laughing, and playing board games until nightfall. After a while, the young woman wanted to show them her flower garden. All the boys were impressed by the beauty of the plants. The aromas and colors of that place made it something fascinating. One of the girls walked away from the group and approached the shed. She saw that on a table there was a flower pot from which a liquid was falling. Perhaps a pot had fallen nearby and it was pinging. She moved closer to get a better look, and she almost fell backwards when she realized that what was in the pot was not the petals of a flower, but a hand. And that liquid was the blood that still flowed from the limb. The girl wanted to escape, but soon the door closed behind her. She was locked up and started to freak out. A few seconds later, the boys heard a terrible scream. Running to the shed where the young woman was, they found her body on the ground and her mutilated hands in Rin's hands. All the boys who went to her house that afternoon suffered the same fate as her friend. Months later, Rin's body was found in the back of her home. It was in the pot and garden with hands, where many hands were already in a state of decomposition. All around grew the most beautiful and colorful flowers that had ever been seen. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it. And if you want to see more Draw My Life videos, subscribe to our channel. See you in the next episode!